Have you ever felt the exact moment a soul leaves a body? It is a memory that etches itself into your very bones. The room becomes unbearably quiet. The only sound is the rhythmic, shallow breathing of your best friend lying right there in your arms. You stroke their fur, whispering that everything is going to be okay, even though your own heart is breaking into a million pieces. You feel their body growing heavier, the warmth slowly fading from their paws, and then they look at you, that final, unblinking gaze. For years, so many of us carry a heavy, silent guilt about that look. We lay awake at night, staring at the ceiling, torturing ourselves with the thought that their stare was filled with fear. We wonder if they were blaming us, if they were begging us to save them, and we failed. But what if I told you that science and animal psychology paint an entirely different picture? What if I told you that their final gaze was not a plea for rescue, but the ultimate declaration of a love so profound that it overrides their deepest biological instincts? Today, we are going to explore the heartbreakingly beautiful truth about what your dog is actually experiencing in their final moments with you. You might want to grab a tissue, because what you are about to learn will change the way you remember your farewell forever. And trust me, by the time we reach the third scientific revelation in this video, that heavy stone of guilt you have been carrying will finally be lifted. But before we uncover the secret behind that final gaze, if you have ever loved and lost a pet, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. It helps us build a community of healing and understanding for animal lovers everywhere. Now, let us step into their world. You think they are panicking, desperately searching for a way out. No, they are simply looking for their North Star. To understand the gravity of a dog's final moments, we have to look through the lens of their evolutionary biology. Dogs are creatures of profound social structure. They are hardwired for pack mentality. But here is the fascinating part. Over thousands of years of domestication, their definition of the pack has shifted entirely. You are not just the person who fills their food bowl or throws the tennis ball. In their cognitive map, you are the alpha, the protector, the sun around which their entire universe revolves. When a dog reaches the end of its life, its physical senses begin to fail. Their vision blurs, their hearing muffles, and the world around them becomes confusing and dark. Instinctually, a wild animal in this vulnerable state would experience sheer terror. But your dog does something different. They fall into a state of absolute stillness, locking their eyes onto you. This behavior, often misinterpreted by heartbroken humans as a look of desperation or reproach, is actually a deeply ingrained coping mechanism. As their world fades, they are marshaling every last ounce of their fading energy to anchor their gaze onto the only thing that has ever made them feel completely safe: your face. They are not looking at you with blame. They are tethering their slipping consciousness to your unwavering presence. They are saying, "I am scared, but as long as I can see you, I know I am home." This visual anchoring is a testament to an unbreakable bond. It is their way of grounding themselves in love when everything else is slipping away into the shadows. It is not a cry for help. It is a silent, beautiful thank you. Think about the wild ancestors of our domestic dogs. When a wolf or a wild canine senses that the end is near, their ancient DNA dictates a very specific, lonely protocol. They will actively separate themselves from the pack. They will drag their weakened bodies into the deepest, darkest thicket they can find, hiding away in a cave or under a dense canopy of leaves. They do this because, in the brutal reality of nature, weakness attracts predators. To die in the open is to invite a violent end. The instinct is to isolate, to hide, to face the darkness completely alone. Now, look down at the dog resting in your lap. They are defying millions of years of evolutionary programming just by being there. The very fact that they allow you to hold them, that they choose to take their final breaths exposed and vulnerable in your arms, is a biological miracle. It means that through a lifetime of gentle touches, shared meals, and quiet afternoons on the sofa, you have completely rewritten their primal instincts. Your living room, your bedroom, the warmth of your chest, has become safer to them than the deepest, most hidden cave in the forest. They do not need to hide from the predators of the world because they know you are standing guard. So, when you see them staring at you, unblinking, as the light slowly dims in their eyes, you must understand the monumental shift in their psychology. They are overriding the ancient urge to flee. They are choosing you over their own survival instincts. That gaze is the ultimate surrender. It is a profound act of trust that is entirely unique to the human and canine relationship. I remember when my own dog, a gentle soul, who had been by my side through everything, was in his final hours. I sat on the cold floor with him, feeling the chill creeping into his paws. He could barely lift his head, but his eyes never left mine. At the time, I was consumed by a suffocating guilt. I thought I was failing him. I thought he was asking me to stop the pain, and I felt utterly powerless. It was only years later, after dedicating my life to studying animal behavior, that I realized the profound truth. He was not asking for a cure. He was asking for my presence. He was using my face as a lighthouse to guide him through the fog. Understanding this psychological phenomenon changes everything. It transforms a memory of trauma into a memory of profound privilege. You were chosen to be their final sanctuary. But that is just the beginning of the story. There is another behavior, something so subtle that many people miss it, yet it holds an even deeper secret. Have you ever noticed a very faint, almost imperceptible sigh that a dog lets out just moments before they close their eyes for the final time? It is a sound that can shatter your heart, but its true meaning is deeply rooted in an ancient ritual of letting go. That sigh is often accompanied by sudden physical relaxation. Their muscles, which may have been tense with the effort of staying alive, suddenly go soft in your arms. To us, it sounds like a surrender to the inevitable darkness. We hear it as a tragic, heartbreaking sound that echoes in our minds for years. But biologically, this is the profound echo of a deeply conditioned reflex forged through millennia of living alongside humans. When a dog is healthy, they are always on duty. Their ears are always listening for the mailman, their noses are always checking the wind, their muscles are always ready to protect you and the family territory. They carry a mental armor every single day. In their final moments, as their bodily systems begin to shut down and their energy reserves are completely depleted, that armor finally cracks. The long sigh you hear is the physical manifestation of them laying down their weapons. It is their nervous system communicating that they have assessed their surroundings for the absolute last time. They have smelled your familiar scent, a scent that means home and safety. They have felt the steady, reassuring rhythm of your breathing against their fragile body, and they have concluded that they do not need to fight anymore. They are safe. It is the ultimate release of tension. By exhaling that final deep breath, they are telling you that they trust you enough to let their guard drop completely. They are giving you the watch. It is as if they are whispering into the silence of the room, "I am tired now, my dearest friend, and I know you will keep the monsters away while I sleep." This is not a sound of defeat. It is a sound of absolute unconditional peace, a peace that can only be granted by the presence of a trusted leader. But the most miraculous thing is happening deep inside their fading brain, right as you hold them, something that science has only recently begun to fully understand. You see, the hardest part of saying goodbye to our dogs is the feeling of absolute, paralyzing helplessness. We sit on the cold tile of a vet clinic floor, or on the familiar rug of our living room, holding their frail, cooling bodies, wishing with every fiber of our being that we could trade places with them. We wish we could absorb their pain into our own bones. We curse our inability to perform a miracle, to turn back the clock just one more day. We think that by just sitting there, crying and stroking their fur, we are doing nothing. We feel like we are just helpless bystanders to their departure. But science tells us a radically different and incredibly beautiful story. You are not helpless. Your touch, your voice, your scent, they are actively changing their internal chemistry in those terrifying final moments. When you wrap your arms tightly around your dog, when you gently stroke the soft, familiar fur behind their ears, and when you softly speak their name through your tears, you are triggering a massive neurochemical response. Their brain, even as it shuts down, recognizes the ultimate source of its comfort. It floods their entire physiological system with a massive, overwhelming surge of oxytocin. This is the love hormone, the exact same chemical that bonds a mother to her newborn child, the chemical that creates lifelong attachments. But in a dying dog, this oxytocin surge acts as something far more powerful than just a bonding agent. It acts as an incredibly potent natural painkiller. As the oxytocin floods their neural receptors, it physically dampens the signals of pain traveling through their deteriorating nervous system. It lowers their heart rate, which might have been racing from the physiological stress of their organs failing. It slows their rapid breathing. Most importantly, it wraps their fading consciousness in a warm, heavy blanket of euphoria and deep, unbreakable attachment. This hormonal explosion creates a protective physiological buffer against the physical discomfort of dying. You are the medicine. The veterinarian can provide the medical intervention, they can administer the final shot to ease the passing, but only you can provide the neurochemical sanctuary. Your presence is actively soothing their physical suffering in a way that no synthetic drug ever could. You are the reason they can drift away, feeling enveloped in profound love, rather than consumed by physical distress or instinctual terror. This is the incredible power of the human-animal bond. It transcends species, it transcends language, and it ultimately transcends death itself. So, to anyone who has ever held their dog as they took their last breath, feeling the vibrant life slowly ebb away and the terrifying, irreversible coldness begin to set in, please hear this message clearly. The agonizing pain you felt in your chest that day, The trauma that you still carry when you close your eyes and remember how their body went limp in your arms, that is the beautiful, terrible price of true love. You bore the unbearable so that they did not have to. You absorbed the terror of the transition, standing as a brave, unwavering shield between them and the lonely darkness of the unknown. You gave them the absolute greatest gift a human can give an animal. You ensured that their final sensory experience on this earth was not the cold, terrifying metal of an exam table surrounded by strangers, nor the terrifying, isolating reality of a wild death in the woods, but the profound, intoxicating warmth of your loving embrace. You were their alpha, their best friend, and their ultimate healer. I want you to let go of the guilt. I want you to release the burden of thinking you did not do enough. I want you to remember their final, unblinking gaze, not as a painful question of why, but as a silent, beautiful statement of eternal gratitude. They were thanking you for a lifetime of kindness, for every treat, every walk, and every gentle pat on the head. They were thanking you for being their brave protector, right to the very end of the line. Please, if this video brought you any comfort today, or if you have a beautiful canine soul waiting for you on the other side of the rainbow bridge, share their name and your absolute favorite memory of them in the comments section below. Let us turn this comment section into a memorial of love. Let us celebrate their beautiful lives together. Hit that like button, share this video with someone who might be hurting from a recent loss, and subscribe to our channel to join our mindful community. But wait, the psychological connection between humans and dogs goes even deeper, sometimes into the realm of the truly unbelievable. Have you ever wondered if your dog possesses a terrifyingly accurate sixth sense? In our next video, we will explore the mind-blowing ways dogs can predict human medical emergencies, like seizures and heart attacks, before they even happen. You will not want to miss this incredible journey into the canine mind.